Hi everybody! Starting today's video off with a vlog style introduction to kind of explain how I got to this situation. So I'm in the process of moving. As such, I've had to move a lot of furniture out, and there's always one thing that breaks, when you're moving. And this time, the thing that broke wasn't any of my glasses, it wasn't anything exceptionally breakable. I broke my entire dresser. The entire side panel came off while we were taking it down the stairs, and now I don't have it anymore, or at least not the frame. And it was kind of unsalvageable, but I still have the drawers, and I'm actually filming in the mirror that I have for it, which I have no idea what I'm going to do with this at this point. I actually bought my dresser at an auction for, I think, $6 several years ago, and for $6, it's survived a good long amount of time. But I guess the awkward part now is I don't have anywhere to put my clothes. However, I think it kind of worked out for the best because our new apartment doesn't have a very huge master bedroom, and there's actually not enough space for both me and my boyfriend to have a dresser. So I thought of a kind of creative solution. I am going to be taking the drawers from my dresser, just like this one, and I am going to be attaching wheels to them so that they can slide in and out on the underside of my bed. Without further ado, let's get started. And we're in the new place. We are on the floor of my new apartment. I do have everything in front of me that I need to finish this project, starting with the most important piece, of course. Dresser drawer. This has two pulls on it. Obviously, if yours doesn't, you could add your own hardware. The wheels I purchased for this set are 1 inch tall and approximately 1.5 inches down. They're super lightweight, super easy to work with. They do only go forward and backward, but that is all I need for my under the bed storage. As you can see here, I did measure the approximate size of the lip at the edge of my dresser drawer down here. You can see that's about 1 inch wide, and that is why I went with a 1 inch tall wheel. You'll also want to make sure you're measuring under your bed. From here to here is the only space you have to work with. So if you get wheels that are too big, or if your dresser drawer already covers 18 of the 20 inches you have available to you, you can't get any wheels that are 3 inches tall or it won't slip under your bed. I would recommend putting your drawers underneath them and seeing how they fit best before purchasing your wheels, and also making sure to do any necessary measurements before you complete your order. The only tools you should need for this project are a pencil to mark the holes on your wheels, a screwdriver that works with the screws provided in the set of wheels, and a nail and hammer so that you can create your pilot holes for your screws to go into. You may also choose to use a drill with a 1/8 of an inch drill bit attached, but this means that you do not need any power tools to complete this project at home. I have a drill, so I used it, but I did actually test one out without the drill. Here I have the drawer upside down for ease. As you can see, I already pre-drilled my holes. For the screws provided with these, I ended up using a 1/8 drill bit to drill in. But if you do not have a drill, all you'll need is a hammer and a 1/8 wide nail. The best way to tell if a nail or a drill bit is the right size for your screw, here are the screws that came with it, you're actually just going to layer them one in front of the other. You can still see the treads of the screw behind the nail when you're lining them up like this. And when you swap them around, if you were to put the screw in front, you shouldn't be able to see any of the nail behind it. That's how you know that this is going to be the right size. And the same thing works for the drill bits. Just check to see if you can see those screw treads from behind. So as you can see both on top and bottom there, and that's what you need. So this is the size nail that I'm going to use. All you have to do is measure out where your holes need to be. You aren't going to want to have your wheels too close to the edges, just simply for the fact that you don't want to risk splitting the wood. So what I did is I actually took something else you should have on hand, a pencil, just to make it nice and easy to mark. And I took this, lined it up with the edge just so that it'd be straight, and marked a pencil marking where that would be, and then I moved it down. I lined up the hole that I first made with the top hole instead, and then made the second hole in the bottom, and I did that on all 4 corners. All you'll need to do at that point is actually go in, stick your nail in, and hammer it down as low as it needs to go. As you can see, mine only goes in about as far as the screw is going to go. If you want kind of a little pro tip, you can actually see I bent this one a little bit while I was using it, but I actually took my screw, held it up, and measured the distance to that, and then taped it off with a red little flag so that I'd know exactly how far down I needed this nail to go. And that's an easy way without power tools to create pilot holes to use these screws. And with all that said, now's actually the time to put everything together. I'm going to do this real time with you. Just going to line up the holes. I'm going to take this first screw, I'm going to stick it in the hole. And the only other thing that you should need for this project that has not already been noted, screwdriver. I just have a standard Phillips head screwdriver here, and I'm using that to screw in. And because the pilot hole has already been made, it goes straight down with minimal issues, and it will not split your wood. Got that down as far as I can. One extra tighten just for good measure. Once you have one, it still should be able to be kind of rotated around a little bit as needed in case it got off of its mark while you were going. Then you'll take your second one, take your screwdriver once again, and screw all the way down. The important thing here, especially if you're working with cheap MDF board like these particular dresser drawers are made out of, is making sure that you're going in the center. It's very easy for this wood to crack or snap or split or whatever, so just make sure that you're drilling straight down into the center so that you don't ruin your dresser drawers. And that is how you get the wheels on. I'm going to repeat this for all 3 of my other sets of wheels, and as you can see, that installing this one wheel only took about a minute. So 5 minutes of your time plus maybe a couple extra to nail in your pilot holes if you don't have a drill, and this is an easy 10-minute project that saves you a ton of money. Alright, as you can see, I have all 4 fully put in. All that's left is to flip it over and check to make sure nothing's split on the edges. You can see on this side, no screws poking out. And the same for this side as well, nice and clean, and it rolls nice and smooth. I can always give it a little bit of a lift at the front to make the rotation even easier just on those back wheels if necessary. And I think, honestly, for the amount of money that I spent on this wasn't that bad at all. For each of the 4 wheels, if it was less than $1, let's even round up to $1. Let's say each wheel was about $1, but I think they were about 72 cents a piece. If I have $1 for each of these wheels, I already had everything else here. This is a $4 DIY. This is super cheap and really an effective way as opposed to spending hundreds of dollars on these giant under the bed storage things. Using this same method, you can add wheels to just about anything you need to make a nice, easy slide underneath your bed or really anywhere that you need in your house. And I think this turned out really great. Even on this hard surface, you can see that the height is just absolutely perfect for the front of this. And for the small amount of money that I spent on them, even though I knew I had to throw away a lot of my dresser, I still didn't have to give up any of my storage or spend a whole lot more money in order to replace the dresser that I lost. Using any one of these edges, out and in. If you're concerned about scraping, you can always lift and drag only on the back wheels and push forward with the back wheels as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I'd love for you to be here for the next one. Sometimes I do crafty or easy DIYs like this to make your life a little bit better. Sometimes I do art projects, other times I'll do reviews. It just kind of depends on the week, and if any of that interests you, I'd love for you to be here next Sunday. Thanks again, and I hope to see you then. Bye!